Okay, we're back with episode 2 of Fargo Truck TV, and we are in sunny Carstairs, Alberta, Canada. You may wonder why we're wearing winter hats inside the garage. It's about minus 16 Celsius outside with a bit of a wind chill. We got the wood stove keeping us warm, so it's not bad in here, but we're in and out the door getting parts and moving stuff around, so the toque is to keep us warm. In any case, I'm Dave, and Steven's working the camera. And here we are. So we'll start with some of the modifications on the 49 Fargo. This is a pilot house truck. If you're familiar with the pilot house trucks, you probably notice right away that the fender is kind of goofy. It has a really big wheel opening. And what I've used here is these are factory fenders from a heavy truck. So the heavy truck had the bigger wheel opening because it had much bigger wheels for like a grain truck or a dump truck or whatever it would have been. So that's what I'm using. And I'll explain to you why I'm using those and when I show you what we're using for a front end. Of course, the factory front end on this vehicle would have been a solid axle and, you know, drum brakes, leaf springs, ride like crap for lack of any better terminology. So what we're using in here is the front end from a Crown Victoria, about a 2007 vintage. Actually came out of a police car. It is all aluminum cross member, aluminum lower control arms. Upper control arms are iron. And so we've installed this, and that's why I'm using the larger fender with the larger wheel opening, is because if we stand back here and look, you can see I've moved the front end forward about 5 inches from stock, from the center of the wheel opening, and I've done that on purpose because I wanted better weight transfer, better handling. And I wanted to have a bit of a, almost a teardrop type of a look. I may have exhaust dumps come out through the opening there. Haven't quite worked on that yet, but we're just working through it here now. So yeah, lots of benefits to this front end. Being aluminum, it's light. It installs in the Crown Victoria fairly simply with large bolts that go through the frame. So what I've had to do is modify this frame. It wasn't quite wide enough. The Fargo frame was not quite wide enough, so I've added sections of channel that are tied in with half-inch bolts all the way through the frame into some key spots where there was suspension components mounted before, so that it's all even and lined up on each side as references. So we gain rack and pinion, we gain lightweight, we gain disc brakes, modern suspension, coilover springs, all fairly easily attained at a wrecker. Well, maybe not easily, but you can find them at wrecking yards. As I said, this one's from a police car, a wrecked police car. Here's the Fargo badging for those of you not familiar with the Fargo thing. But anyway, that's front end talk. Just today, in fact, we've got so it actually is connected to the steering. That's a new thing today. So we can actually turn the wheels with the steering wheel. First time in about 4 years or so that this truck's been able to do that. Truck itself used to be an AMA or AAA, CAA since we're in Canada. It was a service truck. It had a beacon on it, lots of marker lights and so on. I found lots of old car parts in it. When I got it, it was obviously rusted very... Not so much rusted, but the paint was gone completely in a lot of spots from sitting outside over all these years. Stripped it all down to bare metal, primed it. That's where we're at so far. So that's the front end. We'll talk more about some other stuff in episode 3.